I'm Anil Kumar, and in these set of videos, we will learn how to solve trigonometric equations. So we'll learn strategies to solve trigonometric equation when the angle x is given to us between 0 degrees to 360 degrees. Well, students, those who are doing in radians, they can also take help of this video. So I'm changing the domain to or 0 to 2 pi. So you could write answers in either degrees or in radians. Whenever you're solving trigonometric equations, it is important to note the domain. At times, it could be general domain, so you may be required to write a general solution. Here, we have a domain from one full circle, which is 0 degrees to 360 degrees. So you need to write all possible solutions, important. If you use calculator, you'll actually get only one answer, not all possible solutions, and therefore, we normally find the related acute angle and then all possible solutions. So the strategy is always find the related acute angle and then all possible solutions. So that is first part, right? So the strategy here is find related acute angle, right? So when you say acute angle, let me say acute angle less than 90 degrees, you are in quadrant 1. Always use the trigonometric ratio as positive, find the related acute angle, and then all possible solutions, right? So normally you'll get all possible solutions by using the cost rule. So that means you have to check within your coordinate system, all are positive in quadrant 1, sine in quadrant 2, tan in quadrant 3, cosine in quadrant 4. So that gives you a number of solutions, right? So that is the strategy. Now all possible solutions you can also get by either this rule or by graph also, right? So that is another possible. I will suggest use graph whenever you have a trigonometric ratio equal to 0 or 1 plus minus 1. Use graph, right? For other values, use the cost rule and acute angle. Okay. So we have some examples to explore. So I've taken up 8 examples. I'll provide you a solution of these 4 in this particular video and those in the next part. Idea here is these are simple ratios, right? And here we have kind of quadratic or linear equations, quadratic factored equations. So at times you may have trigonometric equations which are already factored for you. Straight answers, cos x equals to 1 will give you 0, or sin x equals to square root 3 over 2 will give you 0. Find solutions. In some cases, you may have to factor. For example, here you may factor sin x, and the other term will be 2 cosine x plus 1. Equate them to 0 to get answers, as we did in part 1. Sometimes you may have a quadratic equation in one variable. You can use quadratic formula or factoring techniques to find answer. Sometimes you may have quadratic equation with 2 different terms, right? Variables will solve. Then convert the square part into the one which is not square. Replace cos square x by 1 minus sine square x. Then you will get quadratic equation in sine. Solve for sine, get your solution, right? So these parts we'll do in coming videos. Let us start with first 4 now. So as I said, we have to find related acute angle using calculator, or whenever it is 0 or 1, use graph. So sin x equals to 0. Can you tell me when is sin x 0? Well, graph gives us such an easy way to solve this. So let us say this is our graph, sin x. Sin graph is kind of like this. That is one full cycle, 0 to 360 degrees. Those of you who are working in radians, it will be 0 to 2 pi. We have 3 zeros, right? So 1, 2, and 3. And, so these 3 zeros are at, we know x is equals to, this is 0. This is 180 degrees, correct? 0 degrees, 180 degrees, or 360 degrees. So we have 3 solutions for the first one. In radians, it will be 0, pi, and 2 pi, straight. So you don't even have to use any other work, right? Or any of the triangle or calculator. Whenever it is 0, that's the best way to do it. The next one is cos of square cosine square x is 1. So slightly solve it. So what is cos x equals to? Cos x should be equals to plus or minus 1. Whenever you square root, use both. Now plus or minus 1 means all four quadrants, correct? So you are expecting two answers. Now let us solve it with graph. As I said, for zeros and ones, always go with the graph of the function, right? Cosine graph starts with 1, kind of like this. Is it okay? Now you can see very clearly that it is 1 for two values. Either it is 0 or at the end, right? That is 1. So it is 360 degrees. And minus 1 just at the middle, which is 180 degrees, correct? So again, you have three solutions: 0, 180 degrees and 360 degrees for cosine of plus or minus 1, correct? And your answer in radians will be same as above. So you got it, correct? Okay, but the idea is using graph helps you to quickly get the answer. Next one here is sine x, square root of sine x is plus 1, rearrange. So when you rearrange, you get sine x equals to minus 1 over square root 2, correct? The next one, when you rearrange, you will get cos x equals to square root 3 over 2. Now for such questions, you could use special triangles, right? So let me use the space to solve these. Special triangle 1 over square root 2 is the one with 45 degrees, right? And minus means what? Minus means you are looking for two solutions when the terminal arm is in quadrant 3 or in 4. That is when sine is negative, right? So you have acute angle 45 degrees in these two. Always when you write answers, you have to write answers for principal angle. That is to say, you have two solutions. One is 180 plus 45. The other one is 360 minus 45. Do you get the answer? So we get two solutions for the first one. Let me write down solutions here. One will be 180 degrees plus 45 degrees, correct? This is acute angle 45. The other one will be 360 degrees minus 45 degrees. So that is how you have to get the solution, right? Do your calculations. In radians, of course, it is pi and pi by 4, right? So that angle is 45 degrees in degrees and pi by 4 in radians. So you can do the needful. For the next one, we are looking for positive value of cosine. Then the triangle will be 30, 60, 90, right? So in 30, 60, 90 triangle, you know, this is 1, this is 2, this is square root of 3. You should know your special triangles very well. Cosine means square root, we are looking for this angle. So that angle is 30 degrees, right? So this is 30 degrees for us. So that is the acute angle. We need cos as positive. That means we are looking for two solutions, and these two solutions are in quadrant 1 and 4. You're right. 1 and 4 and 30 degrees. So these are the two solutions for us, right? So this is one angle, the other one. Both are 30 degrees. At times, you can write this as plus and minus 30 degrees. But we have 0 to 360, so do not write this answer. Write 30 degrees as one. The other one will be 360 minus 30. So that will be 330 degrees. You get my point, right? So that is how you have to find the solution. If you're doing in radians, then the answer will be pi by 6, right, in quadrant 1, and 11 pi by 6 in quadrant 4. So these are your two solutions for the fourth one. I hope with that you get clear idea about how to solve. I have a lot of questions. I'll give you links. I should say solved examples, which will help you to further practice similar questions, right? And then we'll take up these. I hope this really helps you. Thank you and all the best.